Family, hear this. Good. Now, you didn't come here today for another pep talk about thinking positive and grinding your way to success. Nah. You came because you're tired of the hustle. You're done with begging the universe like it's some kind of cosmic vending machine that's always out of order. So let's cut the noise. Right here, right now. The whole game changer, the hidden key brother Joel worked with, it ain't a technique. It's not another 10-step plan. It's the one thing you brought with you into this room, the one thing you can't ever leave without. It's the I am that you are. Not the I am this or I am that. Just I am, and most of us, we're asleep at the wheel. We're identifying with the dashboard, the problems, the bank account, the drama, the resume, instead of realizing we are the driver, the very power and intelligence moving the whole vehicle. Joel's secret. Real manifestation ain't about you pushing life around. It's about life expressing as you, effortlessly. When you get still and know why I am, and leave it wide open like that, that's when the magic happens. Not your magic, the magic. So today, we're going to unpack this. We're going to see how this one quiet, undeniable fact flips the entire script on how your world shows up. We're about to see why everything you've been chasing has actually been trying to catch you. Stick around, because what comes next might just have you looking at your own two hands like you're seeing them for the very first time. If this is hitting home for you, do us both a solid like this video, drop a 777 in the comments if you're starting to get the vision, and subscribe, because next time we're going deeper, and you're going to want to be here for that. Now let's get into it. That first keynote. The I am isn't a thing you do, it's the place you are. See, we've all been sold a bill of goods. The whole spiritual marketplace is screaming at you about doing, visualize, affirm, journal, vibrate. And you're over here exhausted, running on a hamster wheel of techniques, wondering why the big stuff, the real peace, the effortless flow, keeps playing hard to get. It's because you're trying to use the I am. You're treating it like a tool in your kit, the fanciest wrench you pull out to fix a leaky life. But that right there, that's the fundamental misunderstanding that keeps the door locked. Joel would cut through that noise in a heartbeat. He'd point us back, not forward, not to another action, but to the very ground of our being. The I am isn't an action you perform. It's the very stage, the very arena, the very reality in which all your actions and all your results even appear. Think about it. Before you are a manager, a parent, a struggler, a winner, before any of those labels stick, what is you? The simple, undeniable fact of your own awareness, the knowing that you are. That's the I am. It's not what you are, it's that you are. You're looking for your keys in a dark room by frantically running around, bumping into furniture, sweating and stressing. All the techniques, the manifesting rituals, they're just you running faster in the dark. But the I am is the light switch. You don't do the light switch, you don't affirm to it or visualize it working. You just recognize it and flip it. Suddenly, everything is illuminated, and you can see your keys were right there on the table the whole time. They didn't just appear, they were revealed. That's the shift. You move from an exhausted seeker in the dark to the abiding awareness from the light itself shines. This place isn't physical. You can't find it on a map. It's the very center of your consciousness, the silent, aware space behind all your thoughts. When you're tangled in a problem, you're in the problem. You've taken up residence there, but the I am is the space where the problem is seen. It's the quiet room in your mind, house that never gets messy, because it's not a room for storage. It's the foundation the whole house is built on. Your job is to stop decorating the messy rooms and just be in the foundation, abide there, dwell there. Because when you come from that place, everything changes. You're no longer a beggar at the universe's door, hands out, pleading for scraps of good fortune. You are the source from which the universe itself proceeds. Your I am and the universal I am are one and the same. So your desires, when they spring from that deep, quiet place, aren't little wishes sent out into the void. They are the universe's own impulses beginning their unfoldment as you. That's why it becomes effortless. You're not manufacturing outcomes. You're simply standing in the factory of creation itself and letting the production line do what it was designed to do. The striving melts away because you realize you are not the worker on the line, you are the very intelligence that designed the line, the very power that makes it run. And from that place of silent, confident being, what needs to appear in your experience will appear, not because you forced it, but because it belongs to the landscape of that consciousness. And that right there leads us straight into the second point. The natural consequence of understanding where you truly reside is stop identifying with the dashboard and realize you're the driver. Because here's the trap, and man, does it ever feel real? You wake up and bam, you're immediately face to face with the dashboard. The blinking warning lights of unpaid bills, the low fuel gauge of your energy, the weird rattling noise coming from your relationships, the GPS that's constantly recalculating because you feel lost. And we do what anyone would do. We stare at the dashboard, we poke it, we panic about the lights, we talk to our friends about the gauges. We define our entire journey, our very identity, by what's flashing and beeping on that screen. We say, I am broke, I am sick, I am stuck. We have, as Joel would say, accepted the image as the truth. But let's pull back for a sec. Get this picture in your head. You're in a car. All that stuff on the dashboard. It's feedback. It's information. Important information, sure, but it is not their power. They have intelligence or the movement of the vehicle. You, the aware one behind the wheel, you are the driver. The dashboard is in the car, but you are operating the car. The problems, the conditions, the circumstances, they are all within your field of awareness, but they are not the source of that awareness. You are the conscious space in which these readings appear. When you identify with the dashboard, you become a prisoner to the readouts. If the fuel gauge says empty, you believe you are empty, powerless, done. Your entire sense of self is at the mercy of a temporary condition. This is living as an effect, and it's a brutal, exhausting way to roll through life. You're trying to fix your life by endlessly tweaking dials and taping over warning lights, never realizing you're just messing with the display. Realizing you're the driver is the quantum shift. It means you stop saying, I am the problem, and you start knowing, I am the presence witnessing this. You are the capacity for the problem and for the solution. This isn't some airy-fairy denial. You see the warning light? Absolutely. But instead of becoming the panic, you abide as the intelligence that can respond. You are no longer a passenger being taken for a scary ride by your own circumstances. You have your hands on the wheel of your attention, and you can turn it. You can direct the vehicle of your consciousness away from the obsessive contemplation of the broken gauge and off toward the open road, the destination, the very power that propels you. This is where your power actually lives, not in fighting the readout, but in knowing yourself as the operator. What if I am is the driver? The unchanging, aware presence that was there before the trip started is there during every bump and every smooth stretch, and will be there after you've arrived. The dashboard conditions change constantly. The driver remains. When you anchor in that, in the driver's seat of pure being, something wild happens. The dashboard starts to recalibrate. It has to. Because you're no longer feeding the old story with your terrified attention. You're feeding the new destination with your calm, abiding knowing. You're operating from cause, not effect. The circumstances don't magically vanish in a puff of smoke. They lose their authority over you. They become conditions to be navigated, not verdicts on your identity. And from that position of strength, of true inner authority, your navigation becomes intuitive, guided, and yes, effortless. The journey is no longer a struggle against the car, it's the car expressing the purpose and direction of the driver. Now, when you really get that, when you settle into the driver's seat and take your white-knuckle grip off the steering wheel of your own life, you stumble into the wildest discovery of all. This is keynote number 3. True manifestation isn't pushing. It's allowing life to express as you. The whole world's anthem is push harder, grind longer, hustle until you drop. And look, that gets stuff done in a certain way. But that kind of manifestation, it's like trying to push your car to your destination. You might move it a few feet, but you're going to be sweating, exhausted, while the whole trip is a miserable fight against friction and gravity. You're using your own limited human muscle against the weight of the world. That's ego manifesting. It's you, the little you, trying to be the general contractor of the universe, ordering supplies, fighting with subcontractors, and constantly checking the blueprints in a panic. It's exhausting because it's all on you. The weight, the plan, the outcome. But what if you're not the builder? What if you're the eyesight? Joel pointed us to this radical flip of the script. True effortless manifestation isn't about you, the individual personality, assembling reality like a Lego set. It's about you, the I am sight, getting so clear, so still, so unobstructed, that the infinite intelligence of life itself knows exactly what to build upon you. You are the location, and the universe is the master architect and construction crew, all in one. Think of it like this. You're a flute. Your job isn't to compose the symphony, learn the notes and force the music out. Your job is to be clean, open and properly aligned, just a clear, hollow channel. Then, when the breath, that divine, invisible wind of spirit blows through, music happens. Effortless music, beautiful, complex, harmonious music that you, as the little flute ego, could never compose or force out on your own. The music is the manifestation, but you didn't push it. You allowed it. You got yourself, your doubts, your forcing, your controlling plans out of the way so the breath could have a clear channel. This is what it means to allow life to express as you. Your desires, when they come from that deep, quiet place in the driver's seat, aren't little shopping lists you're sending up to God. They are the first gentle whispers of the breath itself, preparing to play a new song through you. Your deepest, most authentic yearning for peace, for abundance, for right expression. That's the spirit itching to compose. Your job is to stop trying to write the sheet music and just get in tune. So you stop pushing for a specific person, a specific job, a specific dollar amount. That's you, the ego, trying to dictate the melody note for note. Instead, you abide in the feeling, tones of the music itself, wholeness, freedom, joy, fulfillment. You let that be your dwelling place. You become a vibrational match for the music of answered prayer, and from that state of being, the specific forms, the perfect notes, the right rhythms, they show up. They have to. The flute doesn't question how the breath will make music. It just knows that if it's open, the music is inevitable. You are the being through which the universe is becoming visible. When you are aligned, what manifests isn't your small plan. It's the universe's perfect, intelligent, and always on-time expression, wearing your life as its outfit. The struggle vanishes because you're no longer trying to create the wind. You're simply learning how to raise your sail. And this brings us to the heart of the map, the territory we've been circling. Keynote 4. The kingdom ain't a location, it's the us realm of the I am consciousness. We hear that old phrase, the kingdom of heaven, and our minds, trained by 1,000 pictures and stories, go somewhere else. Up there, out there, later on. A gated community for after you die, if you've been good. A destination you arrive at. But that misunderstanding, that outsourcing of the kingdom, is what keeps us beggars in the alley, staring at the locked gates we think are 1,000,000 miles away. Joel shattered that illusion. He taught that the kingdom isn't of where, it's of what. It's the very fabric and function of the I am consciousness that you are, right here in this driver's seat, in this quiet, open channel. The kingdom is the operating system of reality itself. It's the realm where cause lives, where the infinite intelligence does its thing, where harmony is the default setting. And Jesus, Moses, Joel, all the real ones, weren't pointing to a zip code. They were pointing to a dimension of awareness. The kingdom of God is within you. Not in your physical heart, not in your brain, meat, but within your consciousness as its very core and substance. It's the field of all possibilities, the infinite potential, the silent power, packed womb of creation that exists prior to any thing being created. And you have access to it not by travel, but by attention, by where you place your awareness. When you're stuck identifying with the dashboard, with the problems, the lacks, the dramas, you are, by choice of attention, living outside the kingdom. You're a citizen of the realm of effect, a tourist in the land of conditions, where everything is unstable and temporary. It's a chaotic country, and you're constantly applying for visas that never come through. But when you remember, oh yeah, I'm the driver, I am the I am, and you sink your attention into that beingness, you have in that instant crossed the border. You haven't moved an inch, but you've shifted dimensions. You've come home to the realm of cause. In this realm, the rules of the dashboard world don't apply. In the world of effect, you need to push and grind for scarcity. In the kingdom, the law is unfolding from infinite supply. In the world of effect, you are separate and lonely. In the kingdom, the very substance of your being is one with the source of all connection. You're not trying to get to peace or abundance from the outside. You are abiding in the very substance of peace and abundance and letting that substance take form in your experience. It's the difference between being a fish desperately searching for water and realizing you've been swimming in it the whole time. Your entire search has been happening within the very thing you were seeking. This is the great secret. The harmony you want, the supply you need, the healing you pray for, it isn't a product to be shipped into your broken world. It is the native state of the kingdom. And you are the portal. By centering yourself in the I am, you aren't reaching up to pull blessings down. You are allowing the kingdom, which is your true habitat, to express outward, to normalize and harmonize the dashboard world from the inside out. The changing of your experience isn't a miracle in the sense of a broken rule. It's the natural, inevitable order asserting itself when you stop blocking it with your misplaced identity. The kingdom is the only reality. What everything else is just a temporary readout on a screen within it. When you live from the kingdom, you aren't waiting for your ship to come in. You realize you're the ocean, and everything needed floats to you by its own natural law. This understanding of the kingdom as your native state, as the very ground of your being, forces us to completely redefine our relationship with action. This is the fifth key, the point where the rubber meets the road in your daily life. Effort comes from the ego, whereas effortlessness flows from the I am. You can feel the difference in your bones. Ego effort has a certain taste to it. It's metallic, tense, fueled by a deep-seated fear that if you stop, everything will fall apart. It's the grind, the sweat, the mental gymnastics of trying to figure it all out and then muscle it into existence. It's you, the separate little self, believing you are the sole source of power and intelligence, and that the universe is basically inert, dead weight you have to drag uphill toward your goal. That effort is a sure sign you've lost the thread. You've forgotten you're the driver in the kingdom and have instead jumped out of the car and are trying to push the damn thing. Again, you might move it, but the strain is telling you something. You're operating under a false premise. Effortlessness is a completely different vibration. It doesn't mean you become a couch potato and nothing gets done. That's a cartoon version of this truth. Effortlessness means the power behind the action isn't coming from your limited personal reservoir of willpower. It's being sourced from the I am, The action is happening, but it's being initiated, guided, and empowered by a flow of intelligence that is far greater than your sentient mind. It feels like being carried by a current. It feels like inspiration, literally being given spirit. You find yourself doing things, saying things, moving in directions with a kind of quiet certainty and ease that surprises you. There's no drama in it, no teeth gritting. You're not trying to make anything happen. You're simply following the next obvious, intuitive step that presents itself from within that state of alignment. Think about breathing. Right now, you're not efforting to breathe. You're allowing breath to happen. Your body knows how. A greater intelligence is running the show. But if you get anxious, if ego takes over in a panic, you start to force your breath. It becomes labored, shaky, exhausting. That's the difference. Living from the I am is like returning to your natural breath. You let the intelligence of life breathe the actions through you. Your job is to get your anxious, controlling ego out of the way so the rhythm can establish itself. This is why, in the kingdom consciousness, work becomes worship. It's not a slog you endure to get a paycheck. It's the specific, unique channel through which the infinite is choosing to express itself as you in this moment. When you're aligned, the action is perfect, timely, and it brings its own energy with it. You finish a project and feel energized, not drained. You have a difficult conversation and it flows with a grace you couldn't have scripted. That's the hallmark. You look back and think, how did I do that? Because you didn't. It was done through you. The effort was supplied by the source. You were the consent, the allowing, the open channel. So the metric changes. You stop asking, how hard am I working? And you start asking, how aligned am I feeling? The friction isn't a sign you need to push harder. It's a red warning light on your dashboard telling you you've slipped back into ego identification. It's a call to return, to cease, to be still and know. To get back into the driver's seat of pure being and let the vehicle's own engine, that limitless, divine power, do the propelling. The journey continues. The necessary actions get taken, but the exhaustion vanishes, because you're no longer swimming against the current of your own true nature. You've turned and are now flowing with the irresistible, effortless current of spirit expressing as your very life. And this seamless flow, this current of spirit expressing as your life, reveals the final, most liberating irony of all. It brings us to our sixth and last key. The thing you've been chasing, it's been trying to catch you. Let that land for a second. All that striving, that aching, that restless hunger for more. More peace, more money, more love, more purpose. What if it was all based on a backwards assumption? We operate from this deeply ingrained story that we are here empty, and the fulfillment is out there, separate from us. So we launch the grand pursuit. We set goals like traps, hoping to snag happiness as it runs by. We chase promotions, relationships, and spiritual experiences like they're butterflies we can net. And the whole time, we feel the lack, the distance, the friction of the chase. That feeling is the clue that the entire premise is flipped. Because from the vantage point of the I am, from the driver's seat in the kingdom, a shocking truth comes into view. The peace, the wholeness, the abundance, they aren't commodities floating around in the universe. They are qualities of the source itself. They are the very atmosphere of the kingdom. And since you, at the level of your deepest being, are one with that source, those qualities are your native state. They are what you are made of. The fulfillment isn't chasing you, it is you waiting to be recognized. Your desire, then, isn't a symptom of lack. It's the echo of your own essence calling you home. That tug on your heart for something more isn't the universe teasing you, it's the universe within you stirring, reminding you of who you are. The love you seek is the very substance of your I am nature, seeking to know itself in the mirror of a relationship. The supply you pray for is the infinite creativity of the one mind, itching to take form as your experience. You're not a beggar. You're a prince who forgot his name, rummaging through garbage cans for a crown he never actually lost. So the entire game changes. You stop chasing and you start embodying. You turn your frantic searchlight inward and become the very thing you thought you needed to find. You don't chase confidence, you abide in the I am that is unshakable, and confidence becomes your natural fragrance. You don't chase success, you align with the creative power that is your core, and right action finds you. It's like spending your whole life running after a sunrise, only to finally stop, turn around, and realize you are the sun, and the light you were chasing was just your own rays, waiting for you to stop blocking them with your own frantic shadow. This is the ultimate effortless manifestation. When you stop orbiting your desires like a lonely moon and instead become the gravitational center, everything realigns. The people, opportunities, and resources that match the vibration of your realized self are drawn into your experience. Not because you manipulated the universe, but because you finally showed up as the part of it that they belonged to. You ceased being a seeker and became a sight. You took your place, and from that place of settled, knowing being, you look out and see that what you thought you had to travel the world to find was sitting in your chair the whole time. It was the seeker waiting to be discovered as the sought. The journey ends where it began, not because you circled the globe, but because you finally opened your eyes.